Welcome to Talking Junk. Welcome to Talking Junk. Welcome to Talking Junk. Welcome to Talking Junk.
Welcome to Talking Junk. It's Friday. You know what that means. We live with another fantastic individual. I'm here tonight with my co-host, T-Man Holland. What's going on, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I gotta say, for as chaotic as last year was, I'm starting out this year pretty good, and I'm happy about it.
Good. I like how that sounds. You hear me? How that hears? I'm not in the right frame of mind tonight. My mind is all over the place. But we're here tonight. We're gonna interview Miss Michy E. Morillo.
Yes.
Author, speaker, coach. Let's get her in there. How you doing, Michy?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Doing all right. Okay tonight.
There you
How's
go.
everything with you?
Hanging out. About to talk junk with you guys. You know, Friday night. Let's do it.
Awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of hyped that I accidentally got this entire poster in frame here. That I'm kind of happy about it. That I'm like sitting perfectly because this is all just thrown together, and I feel like it looks like I framed this perfectly. I did not, and I'm happy about that. I've been having a really good week, so I'm just kind of on a roll. I'm glad I'm, in that vine of like positivity and like I was actually watching a couple of your videos that you had earlier talking about positivity and being yourself and like maintaining that childlike aspect of yourself. There's some old YouTube videos that you did, and it's funny that we're interviewing you because I've been doing that
Michy TV
here, and it's true. Like you got to do that. You got like find that balance between like worrying about what's important, but like also being like relaxed. Being in the zone. We got to be in the pocket, and I really kind of got in the pocket, and this is just kind of representation of that. So I feel like this is going to be a great time, good time to talk junk with you. So I'm doing well. I hope Jason's doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well.
I am, man. I am. Thank you again for having me. Before we get started, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys reaching out, and again.
Nonsense. Thank you for being on. It's an honor. We appreciate it.
Of course.
So why don't we get started? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. Well, I'm Michy E. Morillo, and like you had mentioned, I'm an author, speaker, and coach. And what made me write the book is that I lived a messed up life, guys. When I tell you messed up, man, listen, I literally was in and out of juvenile detention from the age of 14 to 17 and just causing my mom chaotic moments. When I tell you chaotic moments, it's been wild. And so to make a long story short, I'm not even sure how long we got, but one of the things that I decided.
Oh, don't worry about it. If you want to tell us a little bit in depth about yourself, you got all the time.
So my mom moved me and my sister out to Boston area just to kind of give me a better life. And what I did was, instead of embracing that, I ended up going to the left with it and just went with the wrong crowd and just ended up like finding myself in a situation where I was in probation by the age of 15. Okay, I was locked up, doing the criminal cycle, just acting a fool, right? And let's be real, right? This is about talking junk, but the truth is, my mom left my dad because she wanted to give me a better life because he was into drugs. But then I picked up that habit, and I'm like, so my mom's like, at this point, she's crying. She's like, "What the hell? I got you out of this situation to become a better person. Now you brought that habit with you." So I just got tired of seeing my mom crying, and I was like, I got to do better, right? So I moved to Florida at the age of 23 once I stopped going into these revolving doors into the into the cell. And I decided to just reinvent myself, literally reinvent myself. And I did that. and I ended up opening up my own business. After I opened up my own business, I became a coach. And
What kind of business did you own?
A graphic design business.
Graphic design business?
Yeah. So once I became a coach, I spoke at a detention center, and there was this kid.
Now, how did you go from graphic design to being a coach?
I went from designer to coach. I was a designer for like about 20 years, but then I kind of felt like, well, wait a minute, this isn't fulfilling me, right? I'm just designing something for you, and once I'm done doing this logo, you're done. You're excited, you got a logo, you got a sign, and then that's it. I never hear from you again. So I said, I want to live a purpose. I want to live a meaningful life. I want people to remember me for something. So I decided to become a coach, and I wanted to speak to juveniles just because I figured, you know what? I was a juvenile, and I want to be to these kids what I needed at that age. I wanted to be to these kids, well, maybe my words of wisdom can inspire them to become better, because I've done it. So why not go ahead and just be a trailblazer? So I ended up doing this, and can I just tell you, I had one kid just slouched. He's too cool to just even listen to me. He's just too cool. And I'm like, listen, do me a favor, man. I could be doing the things. Just listen. How many times you been here? 3, 4? Exactly. This is the reason you're here 3, 4 times, because you think you're too cool to listen. Okay, so he slouched, and then it dawned on me. I said, listen, what happens is I am introduced as a motivational speaker, right? So I go to these detention centers as a motivational speaker. So what happens when the motivation leaves? That motivation, that motivational aspect of it leaves.
It's all gone. Yeah.
Exactly. Because motivation is a lie, right? You know, you got to get inspired and feel good about what you're saying or what the other person is saying, so that you're inspired enough to go ahead and make a change. So this kid is slouched, and he was like thinking just too cool to listen to me. So it just dawned on me. The little light bulb went off, and I said, I need to write a book, because I lead for my voice, for my letters, for my words stay. Okay, so that's what I did. I ended up writing a book, Stell Dreamer. It took me about 3.5 years, and now I'm working on some contracts with a few juvenile detention centers, so that I can go ahead and just leave my words. Like, even though I leave, my words are still resonating with them, because I have them do exercises, so that they're able to look within, right? So that they're able to see their time as preparation as opposed to a punishment. Nobody wants to feel like they're punished for making a mistake, especially at the age of 14. It's going to continue to happen. So I wrote this book, and let me just tell you, it was the best thing I've done, you know? But kudos to that kid that was just like you inspired something in me, kid, you know?
Yeah, he fueled your fire.
Absolutely, because I wanted to leave them with something. I was talking from the heart too. You know, I'm talking from the heart, like, yeah, you guys can do it. But then it's like, well, wait a minute, what happens if I leave and then they're back to the same old mindset? You know, if the mindset doesn't change, nothing changes. So I figured, you know what, I need something different. And it's never been done before. You know, everybody I speak to is like, wow, you tapped into something good. Yeah, I tapped into something good because I am to these kids what I needed at that age. I am to these kids what I wanted. You know, I wanted somebody to tell me, hey, listen, kid, you're messing up, right? Not just throw on the shackles and the handcuffs and say, hey, don't do it again. No, give me something more than that. Let me know that I need different life skills. Let me know that I got to get rid of the toxicity. Let me know that I got to get away from these friends. At that age, we don't understand that. That your surrounding has a lot to do with who you become later in life, right? So I wrote that all in my book. You know, I needed to just heal and grow. And like I said, I am to these kids now what I needed. So it's been a blessing. It's definitely been a blessing.
That's awesome, because you're kind of like following I can't remember who said it, but the quote, necessity is the mother of invention. Okay. And you have gone through the experience, so you know what the need is, and so you have invented what you know you would have wanted and needed to help transform yourself earlier in life. And that's through your writing, because what you say is true. You can come in and be a motivational speaker as many times as you want, but unless you're there every day, you can't really necessarily influence the habit of what's going on, because the habit's going to be based off of what they're experiencing every single day. What do you have to deal with every single day, not what you would like to deal with? So if you're hearing that one day, it might stick with you for a little bit, but how difficult things are is going to stick so hard that you're going to forget about it unless there's something there for you to refer to that inspires you regularly, like you're talking about with your book. So that's awesome that you really thought about being able to do that and to look back to where you struggled and to help people get out of that sooner. If I could ask, like, what type of things like led you to more of a juvenile delinquent kind of lifestyle versus, you know, I guess what people would say is a typical lifestyle, just being a kid and not, like, you know, getting into trouble. What kind of things like led you into that direction?
Skipping school. I was skipping school. My mom worked hard, single mom, and she was to work at 7:30. I was supposed to be at the bus stop at 8, and I never made it. And I was like, well, she's out, I'm in. You know, let's do it. You know, call some friends.
Extracurricular activities.
Exactly. You know,
Shenanigans.
what'd you say to it?
Shenanigans.
How early did that start for you? Like, how early were you skipping school? Like,
So I started skipping school. Just literally, we moved out here when I was 11 years old to Boston. By the time I was like 14, and in 8th grade, I just started just not even going. I had no interest, right? And I hope there's no kids listening to this, but at that age, I had no interest in school, right? And my mindset was, I don't need school. You know, what do I need to know about dissecting frogs down the line, right? How is science going to help me? How is these equations and all this math problems going to help me, right? Like, how is history going to, you know, show me how to make money, show me how to get a mill, you know, give me something I like. And that's how I met China, because I ended up going to Job Corps. Yeah, I ended up going to Job Corps and picked up graphic designing because I used to like doing graffiti. And that got me in trouble. Because they're like, listen, kid, you do graffiti on the trains. Like, do something with yourself. So that got me in trouble. So I said, you know what? I got to do something. So I went to Job Corps. I ended up picking up graphic design as a trade. And I was really good at it. You know, I wanted to be productive. And the truth is I wanted to make my mom proud. I think that was like my main goal. I had 2 goals. And it was, 1, make it to 21, right? And 2, make my mother proud. I got to do something, right?
Right.
Because either one, she's going to bury me or just visit me in jail. So I had to make a decision, you know. So I ended up just, once I graduated from Job Corps, I ended up just saying, okay, I got to do something different, because now I'm no longer a teenager. I left when I was 18. I got to do things differently. So that
after Job Corps, were you still getting into trouble?
Not real, no, I wasn't. You know, I by the time when I left, I was 18, and I had developed more confidence, right? Because we still, even some adults now, they're older, but they still struggle with validation. So at 18, you're still finding yourself.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to not live in my mom's house because I had just came from campus and I had that freedom. So I was starting to move in the right direction, you know. Plus, I was scared, guys. I'm going to be real with you. Once I turned 18, I was off of probation, and they said, okay, well, now I can't go to a juvenile detention center.
Yeah, you'll be tried as an adult now.
You're going to the state.
Right.
I was scared, and I said, okay, I got this, and I had to get it right.
Yeah, nobody wants to bunk with Big Bertha.
Hell no. Hell no. So you saw me crossing my T's and dotting my I's. I was like, I'm done. You know, my days are done. You know, I'm done being a fool. So once I graduated Job Corps, I ended up just having to live back with my mom, and just said, okay, I gotta just reinvent myself because this isn't okay. This is not okay.
When did Michy TV come into play?
Michy ETV came 2016, right when I started to become a speaker. I was testing the water. The waters. People were asking me, hey, would you go ahead and why don't you do some videos? I like your name, and I was like, okay, maybe how about Michy ETV? It had good flow to it, and I ended up just motivating through there,
Okay.
What made you stop?
What made me stop? Incompetence. If we're being real and we're talking junk, you can't rely on people. You can't. I had this guy who was doing my videos, and he was just so unreliable that I had to let him go. I said, listen, I can't really deal with people who are not consistent, because what happens then is I become inconsistent for my audience. So I ended up having to stop that. If we're being real, I had to stop it because of the inconsistency on his part. So now I have a new videographer, and we're filming and we're doing this, and we're trying to get my story out there, not only to give single mom hope, but also to give these teenagers that might have been in juvenile centers just some hope.
So having watched some of those videos and you've been in that graphic design, did you do any of the editing in them?
No, not the editing part, but but it was definitely like my idea to like jump here and run here and do this. Yeah.
So you were definitely the director and the actor in the videos.
Yes, I was definitely the director.
I have to say, in the first episode, you were definitely styling in that. I was watching it, I was like, is she from New York? Because she got like a New York style going on right here. Like she's just like got the cut jeans and then like the shoes. I was like, I don't see that every day, but like if I was in New York City or something like that, somebody be wearing that, I'd be like, all right, yo, you look dope. So like, you
I definitely have a different style. It's definitely toned down a little bit now that I'm engaged and I have a family. I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't just be wearing wear turbans and this, But hey,
But you're currently.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
The whole thing is not to fit in, right? Stand out, be you. Be you. Do you well. Do it. Be great at you. So that's what I do. She actually
Only
girl.
You could be you.
Huh?
Only you could be you.
Exactly.
Now you currently took that swag on a tour, right, for your book?
I'm about to. I haven't done a tour yet. I haven't done a book tour, but all that, I think it's necessary because that's how you get yourself out there. And again, there's struggling moms. There's struggling moms who are like, I don't know what to do. And my mom was like that. I remember my mom just crying. One time I came home with some dirty money. And when I say dirty money, I was selling drugs, thinking I was cool. And I wanted to just give her something, give her some money. And she was like, no, thank you. I don't need that money. I don't want that money. And I was like, man,
So,
okay.
If I can just go back a little bit. Not to like do any type of Vlad TV type of shit or anything like that, but going and like having experience selling drugs or getting into the game and some type like that, for some people, that's an avenue where they can't get back out of. They can't really find out how to leave that, even if they want to. And you having
some people, fast money is the only money
and everything like that. How did you, having gotten into that, whether it was a necessity or just kind of like fitting in with those that you identified with, how did you move from that in like a way that wasn't dangerous for your own health? Because there might be people out there that might feel kind of locked in because they're in an illegal kind of situation where they're selling drugs and everything like that. How did you just kind of leave out of that? Was it through going through the system of the juvenile system and just kind of cutting ties? Was it turning 18? Like you mentioned, where it was like, all right, well, now the stakes are a little bit higher and now I'm an adult. So like, it's not the same thing, like how did you kind of find a way out of selling drugs?
well,
And
Are you asking her if she was in the mafia? Because that's what it sounds like.
no,
Like,
I wasn't in the
you
mafia.
can't. Once you're in, you're in. You can't get out.
No,
No, it wasn't that crazy.
not that deep.
No, but to answer your question, and it's a great question. It was two things. It was once I hit 18, I was like, okay, like I said, I don't want to go to state prison with women, right? Because let's be real. I was in a summer camp.
Better than going to state prison with men.
I bet. And then my mindset, like I switched my mindset. Our minds are so powerful. And I decided, I chose to get out of the game. I chose to say I'm done. I think that we all have choices. I think that it's a mindset to where it's like, okay, I want to evolve. I have to reevaluate what it is that I'm doing so that I can go ahead and just not only become better for me, but for those around me, right? Because your habits and your character affects those around you. And a lot of people don't realize that who you are as a person can affect your wife, your spouse, whoever it is. So I think that was my goal is, okay, well, I need to become better for me. And then everyone around me is going to benefit from it. And it's been like that. And everything I do, I keep those around me in mind. I've always been like that. I'm very goal oriented, so I've always been like that to where I think of how can I be better? How can I navigate through life, share my story from my lane of experience, also grow in such a capacity that I build momentum and help those around me.
That's a good. That's good.
How can one get into that mind frame? Let's say there may be a teenager listening on Twitch right now, or on YouTube right now, and they're stuck in the life also, but they're trying to figure out how to get out, how to get that motivation to get out of that life.
Jason,
what can you tell them?
I'm going to be honest with you. It needs to be a want. It needs to be a burning desire to where you're like, listen, I'm done. Enough is enough. You got to be tired of being tired, right? You have to be able to say, yo, listen, this isn't working for me anymore.
Well, how do you get tired of fast money?
Listen, how about you get my book and you'll find out.
Oh, that sounds good. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the book?
So there's 8 chapters, and it starts with self-reflection. Okay, so what got you here? There's a reason why you're here, right? So it makes them go through the chapters based. So first, my stories weaves in and out of the exercise and the book, so that I set it up as an exercise. Then I kind of just stop for a minute. I need you to do this. So it starts with self-reflection, so that they're able to kind of reflect what got me here. Okay, because they know they're there for a reason. But wait a minute, have you identified what was the reason? So then it's self-awareness, being able to say, okay, well, I messed up. So everything that I've done is to set them up to where they build self-confidence, to where they have that self-motivation, not from outside sources, but from that inner source, which is that inner power that you have. And even on one of the chapters, which is on self-discovery, is I have them meditating. It's on self-discipline. And I have them meditating. And the reason I have them meditating is because when you meditate, you're able to just quiet everybody out, right? And just sit with your own thoughts. And if you are intuitive, and maybe not intuitive, but when you're tired, there's an inner whisper that just says, hey, listen, this isn't right. You can't be happy with this.
You're Jiminy Cricket.
Exactly. So there's got to be that nudge to where, hey, listen, you got to be tired of this, right? So I have them meditating so that they're able to just get with their own thoughts, and just having them meditate on I am statements that I have them write, because I think I am statements are powerful. Like those, I am is the most powerful words in the English language. And it's whatever.
Can you give us an example?
For instance, one example is, all right, I am courageous, right? we'll use that as an example because a lot of people are operating from a place of fear, of scarcity. So if you say that to yourself enough, I'm courageous, you're going to do things and walk and talk differently because you start believing these things about yourself, right? There's so much crap outside in the world that they're telling you you can't do it, that you shouldn't do it. But your voice is powerful, if not as powerful as theirs, so using words of affirmation not only will help you, but it'll kind of like boost your self-esteem up. And we neglect our self-esteem because of things that we neglect in our lives, right? So one of the things that I teach them to build self-esteem by keeping promises to yourself and doing those I am statements, doing those affirmations in the morning, and especially for a kid that's incarcerated, one of the things is I'm able to leave this jail cell and follow my dreams. I forgive myself because let's be real, they feel guilt. Some of them feel guilt. Some of them are there because of their environment. Some of them are there because they were knuckleheads, but they didn't know any better. So I think another affirmations for juveniles is I forgive myself. We walk around with this guilt and shame. And my book is not only a healing source, but it's also a rebuilding and reforming source.
So I have a question for you because I believe in positive affirmations as well, and the statement of I am, and just proclaiming what you are and who you are, and even if that's not exactly what you are in the moment, stating that and putting yourself in that mindset will get you there, help you to put yourself into that step that will get you there. And to me, I feel like that also kind of relates back to the idea that there are multiple realities and multiple dimensions. And I feel like when we state those things, when we put those positive affirmations into our life, we're essentially transcending into a different reality. We're leaving the more negative version of ourselves for a more positive version of ourselves that's exactly tangential to where we are in terms of time, but we exist there. We're moving to a place to where that is us. It may be far away, but that's still you. And you can be there if you decide that that's you. Exactly. And the more and more that you decide that that's who you are, the quicker and quicker you get there, and the quicker and quicker your circumstance, your life, and your positivity, your potentials, can be realized. And you can start to see that change and affect people around you. And I feel like your story thus far, especially as I'm sure you proclaim in your book, which it looks like you're also being a bit of a teacher by making them having to take some steps. Like if you're going to keep going further, if you're going to go further, you need to do this. And you're being a mentor that's there when you can't be there and really filling the void, not just putting some words that they have to read, but interacting with them when you can't actually interact with them. And I think that's a really big niche that a lot of people write books, but not a lot of people write books to be interactive with and really help people build and get to another place. And that's really awesome.
And you hit the nail on the head. I'm closing that gap from where they are and where they want to be, right? There's a gap there. Mm-hmm. And that gap, I've closed it by that book, because like you said, they want to be here, but they just don't even know. They don't have the resources. They don't know. Mm-hmm. So having them look inward before heading outward is the best thing. So I get, you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Now, where are some of the places we could find you? We could find your advice. We could find your videos. We could find your book.
So you can find the book at celldreamer.com. So that's CELLDREAMER. I'm on Facebook, Michy Morillo. I'm on Instagram, Michy Morillo. And I'm also now on Clubhouse, which is just Michy. And that's exactly, and I'm speaking there. And because now my niche is I'm actually hoping to start a podcast soon, and it's from juvenile delinquent to author. Okay.
Yeah. We got to get up on Clubhouse. I've been hearing that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, like they talk about that shit on the Breakfast Club all the time. What the hell is Clubhouse?
So Clubhouse, you go in there, and there's just people just talking junk, right? Some of them are talking about how to pitch your niche, Some of them are talking about personal development, and there's just different rooms. You just literally wander down the hallways and just pick a room. Whatever resonates with you, just go in that room and just ask to be a speaker or just ask to speak. They'll go ahead and call on you, and you just kind of just throw out whatever questions you have. But it's awesome. I love Clubhouse.
It's kind of like
I go clubbing in
forums, but audio format.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I see that they're smart because I've definitely seen that audio is making a big comeback because people get so busy and have so much going on. They listen to a lot more stuff than they used to. And it's kind of funny because that's how we grew up. We were listening to stuff. We weren't watching it. We wished we could watch stuff, and now we don't have time to watch it. We just listen to it.
You know what I like about Clubhouse is that you can't fake who you are, right? On Instagram, you're able to post a picture.
Mm.
Right? And all you're doing is you're scrolling and you're giving your followers a visual of what your life is like, right? Visual.
A facade of what your life is like.
Exactly, right? So then once you go to Clubhouse and you start speaking, you're like, well, wait a minute. You don't even make any sense. You know, like
can't take that back. You said it.
You know, so you can't really fake knowledge, right? You can't fake education. You can't fake growth. You just can't. So once I saw that how you presented and how you conducted yourself in Clubhouse, if you didn't conduct yourself in a not even professional manner, but in a real manner, I deleted you right from Instagram because you weren't mad. It wasn't incongruency, you know, with what you were posting and what you were speaking about was definitely not incongruency. So I had to kind of hit delete to certain people. Okay.
It's becoming like a virtual check for people too. Like, how real are you? Like, how real is that check mark?
Exactly. That verification. Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Some people need that though. Some people need that swift kick in their ass.
I'm telling you, man.
Some people need to be smacked off their pedestal. You're not as smart as you think you are.
And listen, you don't want to be the smartest one in the room either, though.
Never, nor the loudest.
I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. I want to learn. Listen, let me know, you know, so not only so I can learn, right? But so that I can grow, you know, because I say this all the time. We're going to age, but how we get there, we have a choice on how we get there. You know, it's inevitable to go ahead and change. You know, like we could change if we choose to. And a lot of people aren't doing what they say they do, right? And then
a lot of people are scared to change.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna take it off topic for just a second because I spy with my little eye. Is that Mama Juana back there?
It is.
I need some of that.
It is.
I haven't had Mama Juana in years.
What?
Woo!
It is Mama Juana. That's funny.
I got a good eye.
My eye some little Mama Juana.
Oh yeah.
It is Mama Juana.
No sé qué pasó.
Yeah, I'm Dominican.
It's Spanish moonshine.
Oh shit.
Man.
Is it like rum moonshine then?
It's actually like rum with a whole bunch of leaves and
sticks and stuff. Like
I don't
raisins.
It is and raisins.
It all ferments inside there.
It tastes good. It tastes good, but if you drink enough of it, you won't only be talking junk. If you know what I mean.
No, you won't. After 13 shots, I can contest. I was fighting somebody in the hallway with my pants off. So,
geez.
It happens. It gets crazy. Yeah. 13, but that was in my youth. I can't even take 3 shots now.
Listen, I can't even take 1 shot now. Yeah.
So tell us, like, what do you got planned for the future? You were saying that you were engaged before, so like, is that gonna?
I'm engaged.
What you're doing, or like, what's your plans?
Yeah, me and my special lady, we were supposed to get married 2020, but because of the pandemic and everything, it didn't happen.
Fuck you, COVID.
You know, so she hasn't said anything about a new date, so I'm just kind of like just chilling right now. You know, so I'm focusing on these juveniles. That's my passion.
That's until she sees this, because
I
after she sees this, she's gonna come up with a date.
She hasn't said anything. She hasn't said anything. So I've been kind of like just chilling. Hey, so when's the house? You know? So
out of sight, out of mind. She's definitely gonna say it now.
I know. Trust me, I know. So my goals right now, and it's just to get my books in the system. You know, get my books in the system so that these kids could go ahead and have a future, right? Because there's talent that's locked up. Okay? There's a lot of talent locked up, but they haven't even tapped into that because
like C Murder, free C Murder.
You know, there's I actually ended up. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought because I actually could see my girl's on and she's like, I'm here. So there it goes. So you gotta believe in it now.
See, now you gotta pick a date now, girl. You in for it.
Now she's gonna be talking junk to me. Thank you guys.
Yeah, she's thinking of a date now.
Hey,
she's thinking of a master plan. She got nothing but that mouse inside her head.
Come in thinking of it now. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Lost my whole train of thought. So to get back on topic, what the hell are we talking about?
Talking about getting your book into the system.
Yeah, so that's the.
Now hold on, she didn't just say book. She said books.
Yeah,
so that means there are projects that she's working on now.
Yes. Right now we're working with Kentucky, Idaho, Oregon, and they're interested. I'm gonna go into every state, right? And every single juvenile detention center is going to have my books, period. Okay? Because the truth is, it's a reform program, right? We're going to not only reform your mind, but we're going to go ahead and just help you develop into a healthy adult so that you can be a healthy contribution to society. Because right now, they're not.
Well, let me let you know now, when you come to our areas, we are 100% down to tour these juvenile centers with you. I got my human service certification, so I'm down to do whatever with you.
Oh, that's what's up.
I have a different approach right now. I need every single person watching this that ever watches this to hashtag at Biden and Harris and get this woman's book into juvenile centers. Just mass print it, get it in there, help her out, get that story out, and help these children out. Do something good for the people. Just straight out. Hashtag them, at them, do whatever you want. Make a meme out of this.
Shay, hold on.
Do something and get
Tylen, do the busted challenge.
Come
on, you gotta give it to me.
It'll go viral. You want us to go viral? It's gotta happen like that.
Look, I have not set up OnlyFans. If I do that, then I will let you guys know. Okay, but I haven't figured out.
There's a lot of people on OnlyFans that are not just selling ass; they're selling knowledge.
I can sell knowledge, but busted challenge is not knowledge. That's not knowledge. That's knowledge.
So yeah, man. So listen, guys, I appreciate you guys, and like I said, that's the goal. Is by the time this year ends, I would like to read at least.
See, they want to see you do the busted challenge.
Do it. I think you should just do it.
I'm not gonna lie. I have not seen it. I don't know that shit. I have not seen it. You
have been sleeping under a rock, sir.
I'm on social media, but I don't consume it like that. I'm mainly a provider of memes. Like, I'm more of a meme lord, and then I state my mind and get no responses.
Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion. She's the one that started that shit.
Shout out.
It is.
Who?
But yeah, Meg Thee Stallion. But the shout outs tonight, they all should. You don't know who Megan Thee Stallion is? That's what you just said?
I said, isn't it with a Nelly song though?
No. Yes. Well, yes, but
I definitely
it is with a Nelly song, a Nelly mix.
Okay,
but,
so I saw one
started the challenge.
On Latin World Star, one was up there, and then I saw the comments, and apparently it was all wrong. So I haven't. That's the only one I've seen.
Don't worry, we'll school you after the show. But
I don't know if that's
right now, you deserve all the recognition and all the positive vibes going your way. Your book is gonna touch so many minds and heal so many souls. And we want to thank you for being on, and hopefully we can have you on another show. Maybe we'll invite you into the break room. We'll all bug out.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So
We like to get lit
great.
in there sometimes. I don't know if you maybe
I'll bring the Mama Juana.
Yes, bring the Mama Juana. We in there.
But no, thank you guys for having me. I enjoyed talking junk with you guys, but also talking truth, right?
Mhm.
Talking so that our audience are able to have fun, but also be inspired by what's being done here. So thank you.
No, thank you. And that's a common misconception because, yeah, we're talking junk, but just because what I'm talking may be junk to you doesn't mean it's junk to somebody else.
Exactly.
So we like to keep our ears and eyes open here. So thank you very much for gracing our show tonight. Talking Junk will be back next Friday. To be determined. I'm playing this guest close to the chest if it falls through. But tomorrow night we got Sankar Shane Das. He is a spiritual master. We'll have him on. He's also a folk music singer, so he'll do a couple of numbers for us. Thank you again. Go to Michy's website, celldreamer.com. Find her on Instagram at Michy E. Morillo or Facebook under the same name. She's everywhere. Go out and buy her book. Only on the website, or can we find it on Amazon as well?
Only on the website for now.
Only on the website for now.
Yeah.
So be sure to request that in your local bookstore as well.
Yes. Thank you, man.
And also, again, no bullshit. Hashtag at Biden and Harris. Get this shit into the system. We can do that.
Get it in the system.
Hashtags. You saw what happened with those memes for Bernie Sanders. We can put them all over the place on the internet, not the White House, but all over the internet. We can put this all over the internet.
All right.
Let's do that.
Harris and Biden. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Definitely. If all of you guys out there, good and bad, can either endorse the stupid acts in the Capitol building or shun the acts in the Capitol building in masses on the internet, you can for sure throw this all out there. Let these books gain traction and gain the notoriety it needs to get to the youth.
Yeah, we're giving juveniles opportunities, man, and we're making moms happy. Let's do it, man.
Let's get it.
Dreamer. Hashtag Biden. Hashtag Harris.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Well, no, thank you. And signing off for everybody here at Talking Junk.
Yeah, that's
good night
what
for me. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.